Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's the BScast, and we've changed things up this week. We've got a different person on the podcast. Our wrestling expert and podcast alum, Mr. Stuart Woodmansey, travelled all the way over from sunny Hull to join us for a healthy dose of BS. So yeah, check this one out and see what you think to this. This is Cookiecast BScast.
Now, will that be on the recording?
What, the ding dong?
Yeah. Ding dong!
Ding dong.
Still goes down as probably the best. Was it the Fast Show? Or was it Harry Anfield and Friends?
Women?
No, the two guys that work on the fish market.
That is good. That have you ever seen
Gotta
that
be.
one?
Is it Harry Anfield? Or
Yeah.
is it...
Who's that girl? Oh no. Oh yeah, it is that.
But I've thought about that for years.
Running around with you. It's not that. Oh, that's who's that girl running around with you? No.
Welcome to Cookiecast.
Plug your ears now.
I'll tell you something. If there ever was the need for the name bullshit, that could quite well be it.
I haven't thought about Harry Anfield and Friends for a long time.
Do you know what?
Some very happy memories.
Do you know what I discovered the other day? It's on Netflix.
Well, that's my Netflix account getting used for the first time in a good while.
I had a flight somewhere and I thought, right, what can I actually put on my phone that I'll actually watch? So I downloaded the last sort of 4 episodes of Making a Murderer, the second series, because I hadn't finished it at that point. And about 4 different episodes of Harry Enfield and Jones was like...
And the other one has to be Women Know Your Limits. But I think we've had this conversation multiple times. I think there's been, for those of you that don't know, I mean, how many years has the Whiskey and Cigar? 9. Because it started as a Christmas party.
So let's put it this way. It started when we were still working in the town centre. And we've been back up at Monk's Cross now for 3 years? 2 years maybe? No, maybe it is 3 years.
I would say it's more like 3. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably 5 years.
I'd go longer.
That's what she said.
Oi. I can
go
categorically confirm she has never once said that. She will never ever see this.
Always satisfied. I don't even know what the relevant. So there's actually been Whiskey and Cigar nights when we've been watching Harry Anfield on like YouTube and stuff because somebody will mention it at some point.
It's not really Tom.
Yeah, the Women Know Your Limits thing. That one got.
See how the information enters a man's brain, where it is neatly and conveniently stored. Now the same for a woman's brain.
I don't know. Anything's very positive.
Now, even though at a relatively low level of information, the brain starts to overload and goes crazy. So funny.
So that got us onto the subject of there isn't anything like that now. There's no
sketch shows.
Saturday night.
You don't tend to see sketch shows anymore.
No.
It's probably because people are too fucking sensitive. To be fair.
Yeah, there is an element of. It's like, was it Channel 4 that ran that series of programmes as well? Like, it was acceptable in, and then there was the different decades. Some of that stuff, very understandable. But like, it is just people like, oh, you've offended me. I definitely agree with that.
I can't remember which comedian it was. It might have even been Ricky Gervais. But he said something like, it was like, since when did the whole world decide that their opinion had to be heard, had to be heard immediately, and if it's not heard, they have a right to complain.
But it's that thing, isn't it? If you're not hearing my opinion, you repress it. You know, I'm being repressed, or I'm being held back, or
Social media's got a massive part in that.
I was just going to say, it's that thing of social media great for some things, awful for other things.
Yeah, because you can immediately complain about something. You can be in a restaurant and get bad service, and it's out on Twitter 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that South Park episode where they took the piss out of Yelp reviewers? And it was a case of like, have you ever seen like a lot? Did you ever watch like South Park?
I used to watch South Park when it started. So like when I think that was when I was at school. So probably before I should have watched it.
When did it start? Was it 96 when it started?
Yeah.
And then it didn't come over here till like 98 or something like that.
Yeah, that's about right.
So yeah, that probably makes sense.
It was early doors. South Park.
98. I was in year 10. No, I was not. I absolutely wasn't. I was in year 8.
College.
Everyone was always coming into school going, "Oh my god, have you seen what Stone Cold did last night?" And I'd be like, "No." Pepsi out of Sky. This guy, absolutely fucking loving it.
Well, there was a period where we didn't have it. Well, it's all about the dollar, wasn't it?
Seriously.
Dollar bill, yeah.
So when me and Stu first started getting to know each other.
That sounds really bad.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
I remember going to his mum's house once because we were watching WrestleMania, and there was just all of the pay-per-views like on VHS.
Yep.
That's right, kids. Stuff before you could actually stream stuff. You used to actually have to physically put the tape in, and
there was a bit of effort into piracy back in
But there really wasn't there, because it was a case of like I remember like what was it called? Was it some like Video Plus?
Yeah,
where you could program the code.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it would pick it up. I never ever used it because our VHS player didn't have that function on it. So I used to have to sort of like literally go down and basically press record, and then if it was like when it was like 1 a.m, because it was the wrestling, you just have to like, right, I'll just let the tape run out.
It was learning the little things in the corners of the screen to know when to pause stuff. So when the little thing would come in the corner, like run over to the
black and white adverts.
But it was never on BBC or BBC Two, was it? Because they didn't have adverts. So it was always ITV, and I think there was like different channels on it in different corners of the screen,
just to keep you on your toes.
Channel 4 was like always up there. ITV was always in the top left corner. It was like, ooh, Channel 5, you devious bastards, where are you going to go? And I think it was just a case of the whole channel would just fall over because the channel was shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a hell of an opening promo that they must have paid a lot of money to the Spice Girls for.
Yeah, but that was back when I like so. I remember when it launched. It was a big deal. Channel 5 launching because
it was like a national thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the first new channel to be launched in years.
Well, I remember my parents talking about, I remember when there was only 3 channels, and then talking about when Channel 4 launched. I remember all that.
Because was that late 70s, early 80s?
Well, Countdown was the first thing on Channel 4.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I want to say early 80s, because I think I've been alive. I'm going to have to find out.
Talking about old technology, we'll get out the brand spanking technology to find out about the said old technology. Because Carol Vorderman and Richard White were the first 2 people on, weren't they? Shout out to Carol Vorderman.
Oh, yes. I was alive.
83?
In a time when there was no Channel 4.
I thought you were going to say no channels.
Channel 4 began broadcasting at 4:45 on the 2nd of November 1982. Do you remember that logo for Channel 4?
I used to love that logo. They still sort of use it now, don't they? In like weird things. Like that.
You at home, it was
that
logo.
That logo always reminds me of Gazzetta Football Italia. Because that was always like, I'm having a really weird deja vu now, because I'm sure I've sat on this sofa and had that conversation with Panas about Gazzetta Football Italia.
The thing where it had the weird music and it shouted goal, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
well, even I remember that.
He's still doing, he's still on like, BT, so that is it James Richardson or John Richardson?
John Richardson's the comedian.
John Richardson's the comedian,
Yeah.
so it must be James Richardson. But yeah.
So the question then becomes, when did Channel 5 launch? Do we think it was the 90s?
I'm going 97.
I think it's later than that. I'm going to go 98.
I'm fairly certain it was 97. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just lodged in that mental brain that I have.
Stuck in there with all the other useful stuff.
It's not 97. Andy's got that sort of wry smile on his face that indicates that Paul's wrong about something. Let's absolutely crucify him.
No, why would I ever do anything that's silly as presume that you'd be wrong about something?
If you've got the year, then you have to guess
Right.
the month, surely, and the day.
It launched June the 16th, 1997.
So if I give you the year is 97, do you want to have a guess?
Oh, there must have been something that they had the rights to that would have launched it in a way to get people viewing other than standing up for the news, which I seem to remember was a big thing that they did at the beginning for some reason.
I remember one of their big things was that they were going to have the news on the hour every hour. That was one of their big sort of like selling points, that because everyone loves the news.
But didn't they get like, there was that coup, didn't they? Was it them that nicked Natasha Kaplinsky, whatever she was called? From the it was Kaplinsky or something, wasn't it?
Natasha Kaplinsky.
And I think they got her from BBC.
Yeah. That was way after the launch, though. I think the first person that was that Kirsty... Oh, God, whatever her name is, who now does Desert Island Discs.
No idea.
Scottish lady.
So, he said June.
Yeah.
I don't know, I want to say later in the year, I want to say October.
I was thinking September, after I've just said June.
30th of March,
Oh, wow.
1997.
Interesting.
Recently, oddly, on Facebook I saw the opening promo for Channel 5 when they had the Spice Girls in all the different colours. It was very play days.
Would you like to hazard a guess?
At what the first programme on Channel 5 was?
No. Would you like to hazard a guess when BBC One?
Oh, Christ.
Jesus Christ, like 1922 or something
Yeah,
like that?
TV wasn't even around them, was it?
Weirdly enough, I'm pretty sure I've just seen... Jesus Christ.
When did you say?
1922.
I think it's in the 50s. I'd say 52.
So, randomly, you've managed to pick when the BBC was founded.
So the British Broadcasting Corporation was founded in
18th of October 1922.
1922.
You've gone well too early on that because
it makes sense.
during the war people had the radios, they didn't have TVs,
Yeah, that's
did they?
true.
So I'm going to say 52.
So obviously radio.
Well, I presume
must have been created.
I presume BBC One must have been radio before it was TV.
I think that is how it got started. Is it something like 47? Because it was something like the year after the war ended.
2nd November 1936.
That's very old.
It was launched on the 2nd November 1936 as the BBC television service and was the world's first regular television service with a high level of image resolution.
Right, boom, here we go. Here's the question for you.
How was that possible?
Chicken or egg situation, which came first? The television or programmes to go on the television?
Well, isn't that one of the facts about TV, that they had TV programmes but they had nothing to show it on?
Well, they'd have done them at the cinema, wouldn't they? You used to have like the newsreels before.
Yeah.
So
because people didn't own TVs.
Yeah.
You used to got the picture house.
I remember my mum saying about, like, how was it that they were the first family in their street to have a TV, and the whole street came round to watch it, and they'd have like people in the garden and stuff.
Amazing.
I remember being a kid going to my gran and granddad's, and they had this TV for a long time, and it had a manual tuner on it. And I'm not talking like you have to press and hold the button on the remote control.
Dials.
Yeah,
Yeah, dial it in.
You push this thing on the TV, and it was like a drawer that popped out.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Had
remember that.
little sort of cogs that you spun round,
Yep.
and it sent a needle up and down to tune it in.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember getting the one that had the literally like a safe combination style thing.
Yeah, I remember
And it
that.
used to click through the channels.
But I remember that tray that came out and you had the little dials and like you had to turn it to...
I never saw that.
To this day, she's still a massive technophobe, but my gran could never work out that miraculously if football was on at the same time like a soap was on, the channel that had the soap on didn't work anymore. The tuning had dropped out because Grandad might have knocked it out by half a centimetre or so on the dial.
Don't work. The only thing I could see to get is the
what a guy. What an absolute hero.
Just a bit of football, that's all.
Oh, what a legend.
No EastEnders tonight, man.
Unbelievable.
Doesn't work like that now, though.
Well, that's the thing, like, so, like, because obviously, like, new channels seem to be popping up every sort of, like, 5 minutes now, was it that?
Well, I mean, BBC alone, how many BBCs is there?
Well, like, BBC 3 just got switched off, like, last year.
It went to being online only, didn't
So
it?
it's just an online-only function now. Which seems weird.
I remember a thing a few years back about the BBC had to relinquish some of the internet because it turned out they owned 80% of the internet.
What?
And they had to like relinquish all this stuff because they were just like, yeah, we kind of bought all of it whilst it was, cheap. And they just owned like all these domains and things, and people were like, yeah, we kind of need some,
Like,
some back.
DallasCowboys.com or something like
I just started DallasCowboys.com until it lapsed.
that. Unbelievable.
I wonder, like, I don't
Joe
know.
Jones for taco.
I don't know enough about that sort of stuff, though, because, like, how does that actually work if there's an address that, like, if you make up a company that's a name that's not of anything...
I can tell you exactly.
Oh, here we go.
Where are it? 20. Yeah, so about 30 days ago, you could have bought the website for the podcast.
Interesting.
Because the website for the podcast lapsed, like in that episode of The League. And at the point in time, I was like, it's 3 days till payday. I can pay for the website now, or I can wait until payday and pay for it on payday.
I'll take the risk.
So I left it like most of the day when they basically sent the thing through saying your website has lapsed. And I was like, And then in the evening, I like pressed on my phone to go onto the website, and it was like, this website no longer exists, but just gives you it was like, oh no, this has lapsed. Click here to like buy the website or renew the website and stuff, and it was obviously open to anybody at that point in time, and I'm like, shit! Pressed it.
That's how he feels when he's like looking at the cash out button on his app. It's like, shall I do it now?
Wilbur
Shall I do it?
score.
I think we all know the answer to that one.
Yeah, when they're playing my team.
Yeah.
So like, but then it's all right. Like, so you get the email to say it's lapsing, but like, who does that email come from? Who owns that bit that you then pay for? Is that PPC?
So, I get my domain. So you buy your domain from a domain provider, and then you put a website on it. So I'm using like the sort of free function that I get through what I pay for. But I could spend money to get somebody to build me a very elaborate website with all of our faces and our bios and our, favorite chocolate bar, and obviously we already know that it's
Is that what you were going for before?
generic branded.
We'll come back to this. Remember this. For those listening, I am pointing at a bag of Terry's chocolate orange minis.
You can't hold that too high because it'll blend into your hair.
Way. Ew. It's already started.
You're welcome.
When you say started, is it not just a continuation?
I don't think it's ever finished. No.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever finished and restarted again.
Yeah.
Paul mentioned about when we were getting to know each other earlier on. It's pretty much been ever since. It does work both ways though.
So this is back when it was the infamous Mega Ball days. So obviously, having met my brother, he is a
Fully fledged member of a card carrying member of the ginger fraternity.
Yeah. So my brother actually has ginger hair. Whereas
But
my
he
hair
owns
colour-
it.
Oh yeah, that's not a dig. I've got a lot of my family members are ginger. So, and then this guy comes along and starts referring to me as a ginner. And it's like, but no, because that's ginger, and my hair colour's nothing like that.
The difference between them both was that James was quite open, whereas Paul tried to hide it for a long
I
time.
don't care.
So what you're saying is Paul stayed in the closet, whereas
Correct.
James
Yeah.
had come out, some might say.
Yeah. You can't hide it now, because look at that beard. Check it out on YouTube, people.
Lovely conversation the other day with the you got a cat hair in your bed. I'll just get. Oh no, that one's attached.
Oh dear.
Come on.
Is it time to
Me and
shave it off?
me and Lan
in
have been
entirety?
I thought you were going the other way with that. I thought you were going to say just for men the beard.
Oh, is it time for that?
me and Lan were like, so I'm like, I'm gonna sort this beard out, and straight away, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is particularly long.
Yeah,
I've just
why don't you
noticed.
shave it off? No.
It is particularly bushy at the minute. I've not picked
It's
up on that in the
not.
last couple of weeks.
It's not because obviously I see a lot of the thumbnails for the podcasts. It's not at the level. There's a podcast me and Ed did that there was one camera and it was a side view about here, and at that point I had that beard that was like, oh, it was glorious. It's not quite that level.
Grizzly man beard.
But basically, I was trying to grow it out so that I can then like shape it and mould it to what I want.
Were you at work when Keep started waxing his moustache?
What? As in, to style it, not to whack it off.
No, not
Bloody
like.
hell.
Not at work, no, but he had a waxed moustache on his birthday night out.
Yeah, he's quite high on that puppy at the minute, and his goatee is looking particularly Serge Tankian / other members of Sword.
Okay.
Very pointy. Very Jim the Anvil.
Like mini ZZ Top.
Yeah. There's always that good stat about ZZ Top, isn't there? That every member of
ZZ Top has a beard apart from Frank Beard. Who's clean shaven.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's when we covered that in a BS, didn't we? It's like everyone's got that one stat or that one fact that just sort of bring out.
I was saying, you have a stat, and you go, "Here's my stat," and as it's coming out your mouth, you're googling it because even you don't believe it because it's that ridiculous. It was cashew nuts.
It was. Do you know how cashew nuts are grown?
Presumably on trees.
Well, so there's your standard cashew nut.
Yep.
Andrew, to do the honours.
No, man, this is where you're going to put me on the spot now and go, what's your fact? And I'll be like, don't know.
As long as you give it in that exact style.
My brain is just
absolutely
empty.
fine.
Most of the time, my brain is just empty.
Cashew nuts grow on the bottom of what is essentially a pepper. You think about like a bell pepper has like a little, like obviously where it grows from, and then like for want of a better way of putting it, like the tip has like a little. Sometimes it's like a little hair or something.
Yeah.
For the cashew nut plant tree, whichever it is, it's essentially like a pepper grows, and the tip grows one single cashew nut.
No wonder they're more expensive then.
Exactly.
Well, I was going to ask. I can't remember. I asked this question yesterday. What happens to the fruit?
The pepper part of it, I believe, is unusable.
Oh, really?
I don't, because there's no. At no point has anybody ever said, "Oh, that's a pepper from a cashew nut tree." So I can only presume that it's not. Because when I first found this fact out, when I was first informed about this, it was like, yeah. So when it grows, they pick the single cashew nut, put it in a basket, and move on to the next one. It wasn't like they chopped the pepper off and chopped that up.
So is it a
Stick
case
in
of
salad or something?
Is it a case of the pepper can reflower with the nut? I'm assuming maybe.
No.
Suddenly this BScast just got interesting.
Factcast.
Boom. Oh my god. Knowledge cast.
Whoa! It's a cashew apple.
Still never heard of it. Can't imagine that they chuck them in a fruit salad.
Wouldn't have thought so.
Well, I have definitely learnt something this evening already.
Oh! As we asked it yesterday, we might as well ask Stuart today. Best nut, go.
Depends on the situation.
I know for a fact he's going to say something here.
If you're in a pub,
Macadamia, and then we're all going to have to try and work out what the fuck a macadamia is.
well, if you're in a pub, I'd say probably pistachio, because everybody likes pistachio.
Oh my word, I'd totally forgotten about them little bastards.
Pistachio got ever so slightly mentioned yesterday, and then we just got hung up on
Totally glossed over it. Underappreciated nut, big time.
At my local drinking establishment, you can go and get a pint and they just have a big jar of pistachios on the back of the bar. And so you can have a pint of beer and half a pint of pistachios and they just stick it in a half glass and fill it up. Which is pretty good.
Two things about that. One, I'll always tell the same pistachio story. When I was in Tunisia, I was talking to a German guy, and whilst like talking to him and stuff, like he was drinking and stuff, and he like eating pistachios, just eating them. It's like,
Not shelling them.
you're supposed to take the shell off those, yeah.
Do you have any teeth left by the end of it?
But all you can think about that is, think how hard a pistachio shell is.
Yes.
And he's just, and you'd be a big fan of him because he had like perfect English. He was German, and somebody had commented on his English, and he was like, "Do you know how I learned to speak English? Football.
Good man.
Learned to speak English by watching football matches.
Right.
The commentary.
Here's a question for you. You've got your jar of pistachio nuts in front of you. How do you eat those? Go.
You take the shells off. And
Okay.
then eat the innards.
Okay.
Pretty sure I'm going with the.
Next time you have a set
A set of nuts.
yeah, or
Next
a
time you want to put nuts in your mouth.
the next time you've got a session of pistachios, try this. Take them in the shell, pop them in your gob, in the shell, suck them to get all the salt off, then shell them and eat them. So good.
So when they're a little bit soggy with spit, you mean? That just sounds bizarre.
Seriously, it's really good.
Have you just got a thing for salt?
Obviously, seriously, I think I actually do at certain times because there's some times like where you go to the football, and you could have a pint, you could have a Coke. No, Bovril, please.
Oh no, the worst of all drinks at the football.
So good.
Maybe you are just very sensitive to knowing when you're about to get a bout of cramp, and you're like,
Yeah, but have you noticed it says that? Like, I bet you don't have a pint of Bovril or half a pint of Bovril before you go and play football. So it's obviously more strenuous watching Bovril than it is actually playing
who
football.
in their right mind would ever think, oh God, oof, tough 90 minutes ahead of me? Do you know what I need?
Gravy.
Get me that piping hot meat drink, would you?
"Well, a pint of the black stuff, please." You can't drink a pint of Bovril.
Guinness? No.
The other question I had was, when you said your local drinking establishment, this doesn't mean necessarily your local drinking establishment, but I saw on the social, as in the social media, somebody posted a little picture of a pint with the caption, "Not often you can go to a pub and drink a pint that you have brewed."
Yeah,
Go.
that was me. And as well, it was also Mr. Moore. For this past Christmas, my very kind in-laws bought me a brewery experience day, and it wasn't just like you go and have a tour. It was that happened afterwards still, but it was a case of rock up at 8:15 in the morning with your wellies and your crap clothes on because you're gonna get filthy. So then we made a beer as well, but we went and we made a porter. So yeah, it was a pint of the black stuff, as you mentioned. But yeah, it was very good, and we're still yet to receive our actual 12 bottles on it. But the guy who run the brewery said, "Oh, we'll give you a little message, or we'll put it out on Facebook when it actually goes out for sale in bars." And it happened to go into a local pub to me around the time of my wife's birthday. So we went out for a nice meal and a few drinks, and
2 birds, 1 stone.
Swung by for a pint of the beer that I made. So I was quite happy with it.
Surprisingly enough, on the beer rating app that we've got, it got 5 stars.
Well, why wouldn't it get 5 stars? It was better. I'll tell you what, you're not the biggest dark beer fan, are you?
I'm getting more au fait with it. I think that's mainly because of the Brew York experiences and stuff like that.
Well, because they crack out some good stouts.
Because all their stouts and porters and stuff are exquisite.
The one that we made was it was very kind of heavy with the chocolate element, so it wasn't bitter at all. It was for a porter. It was really easy drinking.
My dad probably quite like that because he. Have you ever tried any Ainsley Ales stuff?
Yes.
They do one that's I can't remember the name of it, but that's a chocolate porter.
Mm.
And he every when it comes around to Christmas time, he always gets at least 4 bottles of that.
So I'm trying to get in because yesterday I had a thing pop up on Facebook, which was here's a memory from, and this shows how long ago it was. There's a memory from I think it must be at least 2 years ago, of me going, I'm just about to crack this bad boy open. It was a chocolate porter, which the one of the 2 ladies that's currently sitting downstairs has bought me.
Excellent.
Old Double D.
I've got a fridge full of various porters at the moment, which is a completely wrong time of year for it.
Yeah, I don't say that to James Keep. Could literally be 25 degrees outside. He'll just shut the pub and say, "All right, good sir.
About my stuff.
Get us a pint of Guinness, mate."
The last one I acquired was was it 10 point? Is either 10.2 or 10.8, and it's cherry, almond, and vanilla stout. So it's like Bakewell tart stout.
Oh
basically.
man, that sounds good.
But because it's so strong, it was only in the 330ml can. It wasn't in the tall boy. So I'm looking forward to that. But with a good porter like that, though, I feel like there has to be an occasion to drink it, because I don't want to have 3 beers at that percentage when I'm at home, because I'll feel like an alcoholic.
And you will be on the floor.
Yeah. Well,
the best thing to be is the case of if you had them sat down, and then it was just a case of your good lady wife just brings them to you, and then you go to stand up and it's like, oh dear.
Stand straight up and end up in the TV. I suppose that's the benefit we were saying about the technology before. That's the benefit of having flat screens now, because at least you can't actually go through and stay in it. You just bounce off it.
Have you seen them pictures of before flat screens became more affordable and stuff? Of families trying to make it look like a flat screen TV, where they'd cut a hole in the wall and push the TV
push the old ones into the wall
to make it look like they had a flat screen. It's like, oh my god, that's incredible.
I remember the TV that we had. I mean, you'll remember from our living room when I lived in York. That TV now, if you put that in any modern house, it'd take up like a third of the room. It's deeper than some swimming pools, that thing.
And it was, it was as far back as it was wide.
And it came with its own sort of, you didn't have to buy a TV unit for it to stand on, because it came with one. And it had these little pegs in the bottom of the TV, so you knew when you'd go. It was like Lego for TV. Popped in. Which again was fine, but then you couldn't buy a smaller unit, because it just made the whole thing massive. It was awful.
Bizarre, isn't it? I mean, how did they make that that? Because that technology seemed to just come in overnight. It seemed they literally went from box TVs to flat screen TVs in about 2 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah, and it made the CRT, the tube TVs, completely obsolete overnight.
Didn't stop my parents keeping theirs for about 5 years later than they absolutely should have.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, but that one was ridiculous. I think it might even still be in James and Claire's house, in the spare bedroom. They've just got this huge TV.
It's the bed.
Comfy.
Well, you have a leg room.
Right, so
what is he getting at?
bringing it back to this. We had a conversation a number of weeks ago in which we stated what's the best chocolate. Now, there was some consternation on this. Some people, wrong people,
Nothing finer when there's 7 people. Because no matter what you do, you can't end up with a 50-50 split. So it was proper like, and there was like the whole evening was just, well, what's your opinion on this? And 3 people would go, you're wrong, and you're a horrible, hideous freak. And the 4 people on the other side of the table were like, it's 4 of us. And then it would just reverse, and then it would go like, it was like split down the middle, all night.
So are you saying that chocolate orange is the best chocolate?
No.
Oh, don't.
What I was going to say was, so obviously it was the Cadbury versus Galaxy debate.
There is no debate. There is no verses.
Which then just brought me on to the fact that obviously these little delicious puppies are not made by either.
Nestles.
These are made by Nestle. Now, I know there's a lot of people who have problems with Nestle because of the baby milk thing.
The murdering intentions of Nestle.
Which isn't great.
Oh, is that a baby?
I'm guessing they don't put that into the chocolate orange though. So.
I'm assuming probably not. But, yeah, little shout out to Terry's Chocolate Orange, because
Cheers, Terry.
not only is it delicious, it's how have they actually managed to get it tasting like orange that good?
Because they put so much orange oil in.
Do you not find with them particular the mini version, if you've had like a box at Christmas instead of like the like celebrations or whatever, what are they doing putting popping candy in them?
Oh no, I like that.
Kicking it up a notch is what they're doing.
No.
Because that was when that was back. I don't know if they still do them now, but they used to do segsations.
Yeah.
And it was like regular cereal, popping candy,
Yeah.
dark.
Oh, the dark. I've no
Why
problem with the
Like
dark
a toffee
ones.
one?
Maybe, I can't
Half and
remember.
half. Like a milk and a dark. In the red wrapper.
Oh. What I've never done with these is actually done to me is I've never actually taken them out of the bag and tried to put them back together as a full orange.
They'd only be that big though.
That'd be quite impressive if you did that.
But yeah, so it just got me thinking, like, where does Terry's rank on the list?
Well, they're the people that did like the sort of the cream, like the mint cream and like the strawberry cream and that sort of stuff.
Was it Fry's that did that first off?
Fry's peppermint cream?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Well, then that must have got bought out by Terry's, I'm assuming.
I do like chocolate orange. It's about the popping candy thing. I'm well looking forward to trying that one out with the boys when they're not knowing what it is and just going, oh, eat some sweets, and they're like, what the hell is this?
What are you doing to us, Daddy?
That's like a step on from like the video and then whilst they try lemon for the first time.
Babies with lemon.
Did you do that to them?
Yeah, we've done that.
Did I mention the cats with brain freeze compilation?
No.
So if you can get a cat to get brain freeze, but they all react in the same way. But it doesn't make it any less funny when you watch a compilation video of loads of people giving their cats brain freeze. So you give them like an ice cream, and they'll, they're cats, they're idiots, so they'll lick, 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 lick. And it's just like, oh, I can't do it. And then there's another video of a cat doing exactly the same thing. It's like, yeah, I'll watch this all day.
I have 2 questions off the back of that. Firstly, as a man with cats, have you?
Oh, Andrew.
No.
And secondly,
Do I want to?
if
Now, on film.
have you done the thing with a cucumber? That sounded wrong.
Oh, where you put it and they think it's a snake and they jump.
Yeah.
I haven't because I just
Because you value your ceilings.
honestly, it's like, I mean,
Oh dear.
Battle scars.
this is for those of you at home that watch. That's my latest edition. I would take my top off to make everyone sick at the. I am just covered because I tried to move a cat.
So, man.
Funny was My sister came over the other day and she brought the boo dog. So Bailey is a large black Labrador. We put the cats in the bedroom. Bailey turns up and he's like, right, so what's changed since last time I was here? What's this box thing? Oh, you left some food out for me. I'll eat that then, yeah? This water bowl's quite small. I mean, I'll drink it all, so... Still wandering around like, where the... But then at one point I just saw Lan appear, holding Dwayne. And Dwayne's looking at Bailey, and Bailey's looking at Dwayne, and I'm like... Well, this is interesting. I was like, that's very brave of you to bring it down. I'm surprised he hasn't sliced you open by this point. And that was the point that he went, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I think she was like, he caught my face, my neck, and just everything else.
That's why I don't think you can ever trust cats.
You can't ever trust cats.
They are the tool of the devil.
You can't trust dogs though either.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
So, I'd be fine with a Labrador. My gran had.
They're a chewer though.
My gran had Chihuahuas. I know that's kind of like half a dog.
Chihuahua.
But they were like, one of them has recently been put to sleep because she was a bit poorly. I say a bit poorly, a lot poorly. But yeah,
I honestly thought you were going to say one of them's just been recently put to sleep because it was a bit annoying. And I'd have been like, I'm fine with that.
No, like obviously when we go around with the boys, like as a kid, I should probably say this as well. As a kid, I was petrified of dogs because not because of that whole thing about it might bite me. Because as a kid, a dog did bite me. As an adult, or obviously earlier than that, realised that the reason that dog didn't like me and did bite me was because I was a little prick and I was blown at his face. So then I kind of made peace with dogs. I didn't want to pass that on to the boys. Didn't want the boys to be scared. The one that's now deceased bit one of the boys early doors, and now they both won't go near any dog. So it is like I wouldn't ever trust a dog like that. Certainly not like a Jack Russell or something either. So maybe it's tiny dogs.
Well, they've got that small man complex.
Small dog mentality.
Yeah.
You know, my opinion on little dogs is what we should feed big dogs.
I'd be okay with that.
That's the purpose of a little dog. That's what we.
So where do medium dogs fit into this?
Medium dogs are fine. Like anything. Like Jez is all right.
So he's still a small dog.
Small-ish, but he was all right.
You class him as?
Because he's cool.
He's gonna get bigger.
I don't know if he is though, because they've had him for like 6 months now, and he's probably about the size he's going to be.
They do live for a lot longer than that. He will get a bit bigger. I don't know. He was kind of a cute little dog.
My main problem with him is that he always looks terrified. He's got that sort of look on his face at all times.
Last I saw, he was always looking for a beer.
My kind of dog.
What sort of beer is that there? Is it a beer for this guy? Because I'm already drinking it. You got a bit of sausage there as well.
Oh my god.
There's one as well on the beer thing and the dog thing. What, like, people brew beer for dogs, don't they, nowadays?
They take all the alcohol out of it. Like.
What is that? Not even worth the fun in that.
But then,
It's just a gimmick,
was it
isn't it?
Brew
It's just
York were doing the dog biscuit?
So, what Brew York do with the mash and stuff like that is obviously they strain the liquid off it, and then all of the like cereal and whatnot that's left in it, they turn into dog friendly treats. So again, I'm assuming they like sort of like remove the alcoholic stuff from it, which obviously is the liquor, and then.
But there won't be any alcohol in it probably at that point. Cause
Once it's been drained and stuff, once it's dried out, of course. So I'm assuming they just mix it with like some form of binding agent that's friendly for dogs. Honey,
Egg.
probably. Well, dogs will literally eat anything, won't they? So unless they're particularly picky dogs.
That beer that we made, all the waste product from that all went to a local farm. was like, how disappointing is that? Like you said, that they take all the alcohol out. It just had this like mental picture of like a row of cows eating the trough, and then all like staggering off down the field and just falling over. It's just disappointing. It's the same
Jerry,
way as you make the morning after. Normally.
Jerry, what the fuck were you up to last night? Oh, don't talk to me.
Why are you pink?
I think this just took a turn, didn't it?
What the things animals say when pissed.
So you've re-ranked your chocolate bar.
I don't know if I've re-ranked. Obviously, I've just. It's a case of obviously Galaxy will always be number one, regardless. No. It absolutely will.
Bringing that back to the step before that, the nuts thing, the situation thing.
Oh yeah, we never got to the end of that.
So, if you're in Nando's, always macadamia nuts. As soon as you mentioned them.
I mean, so obviously we had this conversation. We started this conversation yesterday in the food turn.
It boils down to Andy doesn't really know what a macadamia nut is.
They grow on a tree, not on a pepper, and just they're almost spherical, aren't they? They're more of a round.
So I looked at, I mean, and I was saying at the time, it's not like I've lived in a cave under a rock, the centre of a black hole, my entire life. I am aware of the existence of macadamia nuts, but for the life of me at that moment in time, I was like, I can't think of what situation I've been in where I'm like, ooh, a macadamia nut. But then I think we all kind of struggled. I think the most you managed to offer was go to Subway and get a cookie, and they've got.
It's just that it seems to be the go-to Subway cookie is the white chocolate and macadamia nut cookie because it is good.
I think the only three uses or sort of iterations of that is just roasted and salted, fine. As I mentioned, Nando's with the peri peri salt on, and Subway, or just white chocolate and macadamia in general is just nice.
That's it. That seems to be a winning combination.
They've got a bit more crunch to them than the cashew.
They're almost like a waxy nut though. Aren't they? They've got like that sort of waxy sort of edge to them. Hey?
You were saying yesterday they were greasy.
They can be a little greasy, bit waxy. I wonder if you catch it wrong, your tooth will just slide straight off that bastard, and you won't even cause it any pain.
Don't talk to me.
Oh yeah.
So has this turned into Paul ranking his nuts? Is that where it was going?
Paul ranks his nuts quite highly.
Well, you know me.
So the question was, as far as nuts are concerned, what I sort of said was, cashew nut will rank top
unless
you're looking at the question is which is the best nut. Like if you're eating one and you're like, oh, I love cashew nut, but cashew nut's probably the worst for you.
Fatty.
High fat.
Fatty.
If you're going in for it, I don't think that'll be that high on your list. I reckon macadamias will be pretty bad for you as well.
Oh god, yeah. Well, as we discussed.
Am I the only one who lived in a time of
bit greasy?
Going to the grandparents' house, wooden bowl full of nuts, all in their shells
with a cracker,
nutcrackers on top.
That was a Christmas thing.
Christmas,
yeah. But
and spending like 90 hours. Is it a Brazil nut? The shell of a Brazil nut, you might as well use a car to crack it.
I thought the Brazil nut ones were like almost like an orange segment, sort of wrinkly shell.
No, what you're thinking of is those Brazil nuts where they're coated in chocolate because that's the only way they ever come.
Is that how they grow on the tree?
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's another thing
The
I
nut
learned
grows
today.
first and then the chocolate grows on it. We've all been in the situation where you've got that walnut that you've managed to crack it, but you just can't get that, like the bit that grows into the nut from the shell and stuff, and you're just like, well, I don't really know what to do with this.
Are you talking about walnuts? Because don't walnuts just grow with that sort of like cone of chocolate underneath them?
And then the particularly aged ones also get filled with marshmallow. That's where you
exactly. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, just dawned on me, not nuts, but to get us through WrestleMania, we had the lovely little treat that you provided.
So I sent you on your way.
The chocolate-coated coffee beans.
Well, that was very nice as well, yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I think I ate too many because it made me a bit wired and
Polytumtum.
stomachy.
Bolly Tum Tum.
Tum 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 Tum.
Yeah, you gotta...
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That's a story for another day.
There's a story that obviously needs telling.
Oh, God.
No, there's been this conversation.
I've all been there, and it always just seems to happen at WrestleMania for some reason.
Yeah, at least I got to watch it all this time.
There's been a conversation about chocolate-coated coffee beans. And I was like, oh, you want to get yourself to Nero's because they sell them. When you're at the counter, look along the thing, and there'll be a small red box, chocolate-coated coffee beans. So I was like, oh, definitely going to go and get some of them. I love them. Next day, me and Leanna are in town. She was like, were you talking about chocolate-coated coffee beans last night? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you know the nut centre sell them? Like,
I'm such a child. You just said there's a shop called the Nut Centre, and I was like,
I'm
oh my gosh.
I'm amazed you've never seen it. It's right next door to what was a Handsome Cab.
Yeah. No, I know what that is, but I don't know.
I've had some proper sketchy nights in that pub.
This is my shocked face.
Sketchy nights because of the fact that it was sketchy pub, or as in...
I mean, it was a sketchy pub, but you know... You're not on a winner because you're drinking beer that's stronger than any other pub. So the beer that's coming out of the tap is stronger anyway. You know you're not on a winner when you've moved on to their version of whiskey. The whiskey's the same.
Oh,
so when you... I don't even think it was rolling out at whatever time.
Oh my God!
That's a drunk.
So hang on a second, right? I've drunken, as it's now known, the Burns Hotel on several occasions. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a very nice pub. Sam Smith's pub, very reasonably priced beer.
Is it
Can't
still
say
the only Sam Smith's?
No, there's loads in York. There's like 9.
Because there was a point when it was the only Sam Smith's.
Quite possibly.
And we're probably going back to the 90s.
As far as I'm aware, well, I know for a fact there's 9 in York.
Right.
And then there's more in Tad. Any in Hull?
I'm not sure if there are any in Hull. There's definitely at least one in Beverley, which was within spitting distance. But it's one of them, isn't it, where like you think, oh, it'll be a cheap night out. Beer will be reasonable, and then you just regret it as soon as you...
I couldn't disagree more. So we every now and again, the football lads that I play football with on a Monday, we arrange to do a Sam Smith's pub crawl day, and it's brilliant because if you get the right pint in the right pubs, you can hit all 9 and have change from 15 quid.
That is impressive.
So a pint of mild, which isn't bad, but it's only in certain pubs, is £1.32, or was the last time I went on a crawl.
That's nuts.
I don't think they serve nuts in certain pubs.
I think the nicest Sam Smith's pub I've ever been in was shout out to Mr. Walker, Richard. We went to a pub in Helmsley, and we went, and it was like this. It was like, oh my God, it's going to be expensive in here. It's like this big, like Tudor style pub with like the white exterior with like the black beams and like the actual thatched roof. This pub's a pub. We're going in regardless. Went in. Turns out it was a Sam Smith's boozer. So I was like,
Happy days.
Me being like I am with lager, obviously not getting on with it. I hate it when one of the like, oh yeah, that's off at the moment. We've got the Alpine, because it's called Alpine Lager as well, isn't it? Got the Alpine Lager on. You're all right, thanks. Just have a coffee.
So it's like 2.8%. You might as well just drink water.
It's just they don't. Yeah, but it's not about how strong it is. It's just it tastes like absolute turd.
I don't mind it, to be fair. Man. Generally, when we go out,
I tend to put half a bottle of orange in it as well.
Yeah, probably. I tend to try and work my way through them. So obviously, you've got the Old Brewery Bitter is basically their number one. That's their main sort of cask offering. Then they've got the Organic Pure Brew Lager, which I believe is 5%. So like fucking rocket fuel. Then you've got the milds. You've got the light mild and the dark mild. Then certain pubs have the India Pale Ale. That one's a bit more expensive. I think that was like £2.75 a pint. Like that.
Oh my God.
Absolutely outrageous.
The bank.
Probably won't even buy you a half in Brewdog, will it?
No, probably not.
Probably nicer beer than Brewdog.
Half? Probably won't buy you a fucking third in Brewdog. Fuck me. Robbing bastards.
You know, I mean, I've done many a podcast on the subject of when I got out of the drinking game, and the drinking game just turned into some strange beast, and other things that I left behind, and then they turned into other things. But the point where somebody went, well, you know what this really needs? What we need to be able to do is give people less, but charge them more. Is there a way we can do that?
It's just craft. That's just the way craft beer's gone. Like so, like the way people drink beer has now changed.
Yeah.
So, well, certainly I'd say people in our generation.
Well, no, he called me old timer today. I'm honoured to be included in his generation.
Oh, an old timer.
Cheek, absolute cheek.
Yeah, so like certainly people of our generation, we're definitely the craft beer generation.
Very much so.
And it's a case of you don't like when people go out drinking now, they don't go out to drink the same thing all day. You go out to sort of sample different beers.
Yeah.
So a little
have
bit
new
of this, a little bit of
tastes,
that.
things like that. You know, work around the board. Like most places you go to now, or like if you go to a tap room of a brewery, you'll be amazed if there's less than say 20 different drinks on offer.
Well, I mean, obviously, Brew York's the obvious one, and it's like what
40
right?
right,
Yeah.
and that's just in the beer hall.
Yeah.
So in the brew house, they've got maybe 8 or 9.
Well, they had taps on the wall and the Hample in there, didn't they?
So they've got their keg beers and they've got their cask beers. So money to be made, man.
I think the difference is that now it's like you say about like when I first went to uni, I would openly just a cider drinker because it tasted probably the nicest at the time. The only lagers that you could get that were readily available then would have probably been Foster's, Carlin, and Kronenberg, which Kronenberg is only just acceptable to me. I don't see how anybody, especially harking back to the Mega Ball thing, because we used to serve Foster's by the absolute bucket load. It just doesn't taste of anything, and yet people
It has its uses.
What, floor cleaner?
No, so if it's a piping hot day, I'd much more. If I'm at a barbecue, it's more likely that you can like as a social drink. It's just easier to buy like a case of like say 12 Sol, 12 Corona, something like that. And just take them and just pass them around than it is to get a 12 case of assorted beers. Oh my god, do you drink Pistonhead?
Yeah.
In Tesco, they've got 2 for £9 on certain beers, and a pack of 6 Pistonheads, £8, 2 for £9.
That's pretty good.
Unbelievable.
I think
They'll probably have taken it off by the time this comes out.
I think that's my problem with it though, because even though it is easier to get hold of that, doesn't mean that like I'm quite on board with the fact that I don't really want to drink beer if I don't like the taste of it. I think it's a waste of beer drinking. If you're not enjoying it, why do it?
Alright, I'll paint you a little picture. It is the summer, piping hot day. Go back a couple of months, you're still hopping around the bag on the round, and you go to someone's house and it's like, oh, nice of you to join us. We've kept the barbecue going. We've kept back a couple of icy cold ones for you. You get there, you've got a little thirst on you because you've been pounding the beat. You know, you've been delivering mail. They hand you an ice cold Michelob Ultra.
You're quite alright. Although that would probably happen on the rounds I used to do because, you know, clientele and all that.
Are you saying you wouldn't drink it?
No, I wouldn't. If I don't like
What?
the first rule of surely life is just if you don't like the taste of it, don't put it in your mouth. which is a decent rule, I think, for any part.
So going back to that, when I first started drinking, because like a lot of people of my age at that time, I started drinking before I was legally old enough to drink, because that's what you do. So you have to drink the drink that makes you look the oldest. So you practiced.
So that'll be the Pernod and Black for you then, obviously.
Will it?
You practice.
Horrible stuff.
Pint lager, please, love.
What are you cockney?
You got to deepen your
Fair
voice.
enough, you're in Bristol, you know, you're growing up.
You got to deepen your voice. That's what naturally happens. You got to be casual. It's got to be
Casual?
Just pint lager, please. So
I don't know, so you just chilling out in York and he goes, oh, what, mate? Pint lager, please,
so
Chief.
you start drinking, and I had the Foster's kind, whatever was on. You walk to a pub, you don't order a pint of Foster's or whatever, you order a pint of lager.
The funniest things at Megaball was always when people would come in and go, pint of Carling, please, mate. Don't sell Carling. Oh, well, just whatever you do. Well, Foster's or Kronenberg. How much is Kronenberg? $3.50. How much is Foster's? $3.20. Oh, go on, I'll have a pint of Foster's then. It's like, fucking hell, I'm not making you drink this. You're choosing to drink this, tosser. And give me your ID. I know you're 17, now fuck off.
But I got to the point where the bubbles, the gas, you've had a night on the lager and you wake up the next day and it's like,
I remember when we first started like going for drinks together and stuff like that, and you were like, still drinking lager, are you? I was like, yeah, I quite like it. So I like, yeah, you'll learn. Yeah. I was like, what do you mean?
Has he?
No, right. More often than not, I'll drink craft, but lager certainly has its place.
Bin. Down the sink.
Down the sink. This guy.
Myself, as well as you know, me and Matt are signed up to, as you would probably call it, a knobby beer box with Northern Monk.
I can't believe you haven't signed up to Nobby Craft. That is absolutely disgusting.
But like when that comes, and like they do all different styles of beer, and they're quite expensive if you buy them individually. And when the box turns up and you crack it open and it's like, oh, this is a craft lager. It's like, oh, fucking hell.
But it's still a taste to it.
Yeah, it does, and it does have malt in it, and like I have drunk the ones that have come in the box, mainly like to try it, but there have been occasions where that has happened, and a special mention for Cloudwater smoked lager, which I had.
Ooh.
Bought it thinking, oh, I like craft beer, it's all novelty in it. Yeah, learnt that fucking lesson. So again, going back to what I said before, I had about 3 mouthfuls of it, and it cost about £6, and I couldn't drink it. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. So that's it. It's like it doesn't matter. Even if it was made by my favourite craft brewery, if it was lager and there was their basic other like IPA on or whatever, I would have the IPA every single time. Even if it had been made by like the world's best brewer at that time, if it was lager, I'd stay away from it.
So, what would you say is your... If you walk into a pint... If you walk into a pint...
If I walk into a pint, I've had too much already.
If you walk into a bar...
Yeah.
You don't see what's on the bar.
Yeah.
You just go up to the bar. What's the instinctive thing you say?
Have you got a beer menu?
I knew it would be. Have a menu, please. Fuck off. So you don't get to like ask what they've got on. You just have to ask, and it's like ideal situation they'd have it, and that's what you'd get.
Locally to me, Atom are alright. They have a lot of different beers on, so something of theirs probably. Although they do a lager, don't drink that. It's called Pulsar. Might as well be called Repulsar. It's horrible stuff.
Ooh, wordplay. Nice.
Oh, I nearly got that wrong and said Reptar, which is an entirely different thing.
Oh my god, speaking of which, found that's on Netflix or Amazon Prime.
What, Rugrats?
Yes, it is. I was saying that to Amy the other day. I was like, oh no, that's dangerous. That could end up getting watched quite a lot.
If Sarah ever listens to this on the basis that we've mentioned Reptar, she'll be like looking at me nervously in the car right about now, going, don't mention it. But now I've mentioned it, I'm going to have to tell you the story. So, Jurassic Park, the new ones come out.
I tried to stop him, Sarah.
He really didn't. He actively encouraged me. So when
Just give me a break. How on earth could this possibly have happened?
when the new Jurassic Park started coming out with Chris Pratt in, and there's that whole scene where he does like the arms out and the raptors are. We had this conversation with other people. It's like, oh, have you seen? Yeah, you ever seen the new Jurassic Park? Yeah. It's the one where that guy he can control Reptar, can't he? I was like, whoa, wind that back a little bit. He can do what? She said it again. She's like, yeah, and he's controlling Reptar. I was like, oh, he's really not. You might want to look this up. And yeah, so she went a horrible shade of red.
Oh,
she hates me telling people that now, but now that's out in the world.
Well, I think it's on a similar vein as to when James and Claire were driving through Snowdonia in Wales. That's definitely right, isn't it? No, Ben Nevis is along Scotland, so yeah, Snowdonia's in Wales. So we're driving through the mountain range. I said the mountain range, the hills, I suppose, as it is in Wales. So Claire turned to James and said, "So which one of these is Everest then?" I believe his exact response was something not too dissimilar to that. But he told everyone as soon as they came back from that holiday, and he was like, "Oh God, you're such a fucking freak." Here's what you did wrong, and here's why I'm going to mock you about it.
Oh.
I mean, I'm one to fucking talk.
I feel there's another story in there somewhere.
Oh, just the amount of nonsense that comes out of my mouth is unheard of.
We've all been there. We've all said, we've all said that
The
thing.
worst thing is as soon as it's escaped, you're just like, oh no, come back!
It's like the football team from yesterday that I called Lesbon. Immediately reread it and went, no. He just started laughing. And I was like,
Me and James were like,
sorry,
what was that again?
Lisbon.
There was a team in the Thursday night league that I used to play in that was called Sporting Lesbian.
Begs the question: were they or
no? I don't think so. It was definitely men.
could have been.
There's quite on the sort of theme of like funny team names and stuff like that. Obviously, we're all familiar that there's a place outside of York called Pocklington.
Yep.
So the football team there called themselves Pocker Juniors, which I thought was quite good. What else is there?
Do you have to have when you do this football quiz thing? Do you have to have a funny team name for that?
We tried to come up with them. The one we had last week, at the last month's one, which was last week, was Phil Jones's beauty pageant. I'll have to show you some of the memes on the internets. But Phil Jones is basically now infamous for being, one, a terrible defender, and two, just has the best faces ever.
Absolute stunner.
Just when the balls come near, he's like...
it stops being football and starts being like the World Championship for gurning.
It's amazing. Oh, it's so good.
We all, because we've been going to this big quiz, me and my friend Rob, and our team name always stays the same because it's always that panic moment of it has to be funny, it has to be quite good. I can't think of anything else. Right, we'll just use what we used last time. So it's our team name is My Drinking Team Has a Trivia Problem.
Excellent.
So now, if you're in that pub when that quiz is happening and you hear that, that's me.
Well, James was saying the other week, he was saying, has Stuart ever been tempted to come across for the football quiz? And I said, well, I think he probably would be, but it's just a case of it doesn't finish till after 11.
Yeah.
So it's just getting back for the Friday morning for work and stuff. He's just a bit of a ball ache.
Yeah, it's horrible when you get back home after midnight and you're at work the next day. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Oh my god! At least we weren't at work the day after WrestleMania.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Seriously, I don't think I've ever been that tired. But that's for another podcast.
It is one
that might be recorded very, very shortly.
Might be recorded shortly, but we'll go out probably a month before this one.
More than likely.
That'll be really confusing.
In the wrong order. Yeah, I feel we've rambled.
Exhausted this.
We've rambled on
line
for
of questioning.
A long enough time there. So yes, thank you for sticking with us, folks. I don't know if we went down the rabbit hole too much there, or not.
Only probably when we started talking
Jefferson
about drunk
Airplane.
animals.
Drunk Animals was quite good, actually. I quite enjoyed that.
Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit, what?
Right, I've just covered this with my entire hand. No. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Is that the only time you've said that as well, Paul?
I've covered that with my entire hand.
So there you go then, what do you think of that? Another one in the bag, more BS than you can shake a stick at. Thanks for Stu for coming over. As always, it's the people that make the podcast, so it's always good when people make the effort to especially travel long distances. So thanks, Stu. Everybody watching on YouTube, make sure you're a YouTube subscriber. Everybody who listens to the podcast should jump over to thecookiecast.com. Check us out over there. Social media to the max. Emails are plenty. Check all that out. Use those functions. So there we go. Another one done. Another week gone. Check us out next week, because I'm sure there'll be more BS than you can shake a stick at. So until then, I'll say bye.